We have with us a Scott Mager, who is one of the nation's foremost disaster recovery experts, and he is very, very well versed in all forms of insurance and this kind of aspect. I'm going to let him make his presentation because that may answer some questions that folks have, but certainly I think it's helpful to have what he has to say out on the table before we go back to the question and answer. So again, he is a private citizen, but he is one of the nation's foremost experts in insurance disaster recovery. Scott Mager.
Good evening. My name is Scott Mager. I hope you all can hear me in the back. Yeah, okay. Let me tell you a little bit about what I'm going to talk about and how it's going to help you. So that you understand, I have personally been through 12 storms on my own. I've been involved in 24 different storms in different states with different governments in different cities. I've lived through a Catastrophe 5 storm myself. Believe me when I tell you, I fully understand just about every possible issue that's raised on the city, county, federal government, insurance, flood coverage level you can imagine. What I'm going to try to do in a brief period of time is I'm going to try to take you through how to get money. What's the fastest and best ways? What are the things you need to do? What should you do to look at your insurance policy? There'll be some assistance in the back. One of your very own, also Belistri there, who's a lawyer in town, who's also a catastrophe guy. He'll help you if you have any questions. Let me just start by telling you that there is a website, okay? It's called stormhelpteam.com. The stormhelpteam.com website allows you to load up, to fill in information which will talk about your specific insurance claim. And then that will be sent, you can upload your insurance policy and everything, and that will be sent to an expert who will review your policy, review your information, and call you and give you information. If you want to hang up the phone after that, great. If you want to find out about public adjusters or lawyers to hire, great. If you don't, great. But it's a great way to get an understanding of these different policies because you have different kinds of, you have homeowners policies, flood policies, FEMA coverage relief, ICC relief, mitigation stuff. All these terms of art are impossible to understand, and you will pull your hair out trying to figure it out. So let me give you the fundamentals that you need to understand. Let's start first with FEMA. Number one, let me make this absolutely clear. Everybody in this room, everyone must register with FEMA. Everyone. If you don't, you can't get relief. Everyone, underline everyone, must fill out the SBA application. Okay? You'll get it in the mail, don't throw it in the garbage. If you don't fill it out, you don't get FEMA relief. It's a federal regulation, and the way it's worded, as crazy as that is, that's the way it works. It doesn't matter if you qualify, like the individual said over there. It doesn't matter. You don't have to take the relief. It doesn't matter whether you're denied, whether you're granted. It has no impact whatsoever on your right to get money on an emergency basis. If you're not in your home, there's a STEM program started just about a week ago, and you can get emergency repairs to get you back into your home. Okay? FEMA has a disasterrecovery.gov site that you can go to and fill out the application and learn more information, or you can learn from stormhelpteam.com. In terms of your FEMA relief, let me tell you, it is very important. Number one, document your claim. Document, document, document. Take pictures of every aspect of your property, every nook, every cranny. If you have a bathroom, you take a picture and you write on it or put on your computer. Main bathroom, second bedroom bathroom, door in corner left side, northeast part of home. You want to make as much of a detailed, documented claim so that there is no dispute, no confusion about what your damage is. No lack of clarity from any FEMA official or any insurance-related official. I do a lot of these town meetings. I work with FEMA officials. I love them. They're great people, but not all of them may know the right answer to your question. So don't be upset if you get an inconsistent answer or you don't get what you want. Call back or write back and find out more. But fundamentally, you have to have documentation. The easier you make it, the better. I was the former national counsel for one of the largest insurance companies in the world. And I'm telling you, on the insurance side, we look at documentation. If people's properties aren't documented, denial. Crazy or unfair or mean as that may seem, that's what they do. The longer the dollars are in their accounts, they're making money off those dollars. So you got to document. So if you have pictures or video or any types of things, it's important. If you have any pictures before the storm, If you and your wife or husband or kids were standing out and they took a picture of you in the lawn and it shows your house behind it and it shows that that was done before the storm, fantastic. It's very important also to eliminate any claims that this was old damage, that if you have something beforehand, that's great. Now, in addition, once you have applied for FEMA and you've got your documentation, now you have to learn how to write. You want to write all the time. Dear FEMA, here's my pictures. I was told an inspector was going to come out on X date. I'm waiting for that inspector. It's on December 4th. I look forward to having that inspector on December 4th. Love and kisses you. On December 5th, if they don't show up, dear so-and-so, I was supposed to have a meeting December 4th. They didn't show up. Please explain to me in writing why they did not show up. Love and kisses you. Okay? If they tell you they're going to pay you money, dear so-and-so, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate the fact that you've committed $28,106.12 to pay my claim, and you told me orally that claim would be paid in 7 days. Please let me know when I can come and pick up the check, or when it'll be deposited in my account, or when it'll be delivered to me. Love and kisses you. If you don't get the money on the day it's due, the next day you write a letter, love and kisses you. Okay? There is at a lot of these FEMA meetings, they have different levels of FEMA people. And I make a joke because one of the fellows that I work with, in the FEMA, is a guy who wears a blue shirt. And he knows everything. It's amazing how knowledgeable. And so I say, if you want to get it to the guy in the blue shirt, you got to document on the main level that you've done everything you possibly can. So it's not just a pissing contest or an argument about what she said and he said. You have a documentation trail of exactly what you're doing. You need money now, not 3 weeks from now, not 6 months from now, not when somebody gets around to it, not in a flood policy when there's 400 other companies who are getting to you and claiming that they want to get to you, but they're really busy. You need the money now. So it's important to dog your claim. If you want, you can get public adjusters, lawyers involved. I'll talk to you about the pros and cons of that in a minute. But fundamentally, you want to document. It's important if you get repairs done, do not use an unlicensed contractor. Make sure that person is licensed. Make sure you get a written estimate. If you can get multiple estimates, you're a hero. It's great if you have 2 estimates. It shows that your buddy Bob didn't just do the work for you. You've got different people from different companies doing that. It doesn't cost you anything to get estimates. Great thing to do on every aspect of the property. Don't pay in cash. Let me repeat that. Don't pay in cash. An exception, don't pay in cash. Okay? You got to have a track record. You want to have the items, and don't have somebody come in and give you an estimate that says, fix walls, $700. I want to know specifically what they did, what kind of work, what labor, what materials, because you want to document that. Imagine if you're a FEMA or you're an insurance company. If you don't understand it, you're not required to pay it. So you want to make sure that all those estimates are also detailed and they talk about the work that they do. If you can get people to write letters to you or opinions or issue reports that say this is the damage and it was caused by the flood, it was caused by the storm, that's fantastic. When we get on the insurance side, okay, there are 2 fundamental types of insurance. There is homeowners insurance and there's flood insurance. Your flood insurance may be set up by the National Flood Program or may tie in to FEMA, but it is a separate flood insurance policy. Some people also have separate flood insurance that are not part of the National Flood. What do I do? First, let's understand what your policy says. Every single person in here tonight, tomorrow, get up, pick up the phone, call your insurance agent and say, I would like, let me repeat, a certified copy of the insurance policy. That's what you said. Why? Because for most of you who have insurance, you're going to get a form about every couple of months, and it's some form that looks like it comes from the insurance company, and it says, this is an endorsement to your policy. Nobody knows what the heck it is. It's written in some other language that I don't know, and I'm an insurance expert. You throw it into your thing. You have no idea what it means. Maybe it's taking away coverage. You want a complete copy of your policy. Your insurance agent, who you paid money to in order to get that insurance, has an affirmative duty to provide it to you. You get him or her to provide it to you. If they don't, dear insurance agent, I asked you on December 1st for my insurance policy, a certified copy. You didn't provide it. Please explain to me in writing why you're not providing it. Love and kisses you. Okay? The whole concept is I want to know what my coverage is. Not so much because you may be able to decrypt it, but maybe the lawyers or public adjusters or other experts that we're going to get to may be able to help you. And when you upload it on this website, you want to have a full and complete copy of the policy. So you ask for that. Flood policy, homeowners insurance policy, boiler policy, commercial, whatever you have, you want to get copies. You also want to make sure that that insurance agent is going to be actively involved in your claim. Okay? I love insurance agents. Represent a lot of them, work with a lot of them. However, when you call them, they're going to say, I'm happy to help you. Here's the 1-800 number for the insurance company. I wish you the best of luck. And if you have any problems, call me and I might respond. Okay? They have an affirmative duty to assist you with your claim. Dear insurance agent, it was great speaking with you today. I'm glad you've agreed to assist me with the claim. I expect weekly written reports. Love and kisses, you. You don't get your report, dear insurance agent, and then the boss of the insurance agent, and then the boss, and then the broker, and therefore, that's what you do. And you will get responses and you will get recovery because those people working for you will help you. What kind of insurance do I have? Well, in a homeowner's policy and in every insurance policy, the first page of that policy is called a declarations page, okay? You want to be cool? It's called a deck page. Call up your insurance agent, I want the deck page. They're going to think you know something, okay? The first page will list all your insurance. In a homeowner's case, you have 4 basic insurance coverages. 1, coverage A. Coverage A is for your structure, the walls, the roof. It'll have a separate amount of money that you're entitled to receive for that, a maximum amount of money next to that. Coverage B, other structures, sheds, fences, an unattached or detached garage, things like that, which will be very beneficial for you, okay? Coverage C, contents, C for contents. Think clothing, like computers, the internal types of things that are inside the house that are damaged by a covered peril. D, additional living expenses, sometimes called loss of use or loss of your ability to live in the property. You're entitled to get money if you've insured for every day you're not in the property, okay, that you're not there, and they have to pay. They also have to pay hotel expenses and other types of things, okay? When you make your claim in homeowners and you get that wonderful person on the other side who says, I've opened a claim for you, you're going to find out their email address, find out their hard address if you can, and you're going to write them. I spoke with you today. You said you'd get back to me in 2 days. And when somebody says, I get back to you, this is your answer. When? Give me the day. I don't care if it's March 29th. Give me the day so I can write the letter with my love and kisses to you. Okay? If the person says 3 months from now, then you're going to elevate it over their head because that's ridiculous. They have an affirmative duty to go out immediately and to inspect your property. Okay? It is not an excuse to say, gee whiz, I have a lot of claims. It is not an excuse to say, I'll get around to when I can. It's not an excuse to say, don't give me a hard time, I have 5,000 or 50,000 or 500,000 claims. That is not a defense. You paid for prompt payment of a covered item, you're entitled to that. On the flood side, okay? Flood doesn't have that type of thing. It has basically a sort of building structure type of thing, and then it has a contents. Some people in the flood policies, you'll see like business or property, and then you'll see like an internal, things that are covered internally. And in fact, on some of the FEMA forms, they'll actually provide you with a specific thing, like a personal property coverage. But whether you're in the flood part or the coverage part, you want to look and see, do I have contents coverage? That's mostly what's going to happen in floods. I've been in a lot of storms, and I'm telling you that a lot of these storms, they're wind events, and they create lots of problems. People on the island, people who are near water, they have lots of flood problems. Not that you don't have wind events. And there's a whole bunch of engineering to discuss what looks like water but is really wind and other types of things which we can get to another time, or I'll be in the back to help you. The concept is that you want to make sure what your coverage is. You want to get on the phone with that agent. When are you coming out? When the person comes out, let me tell you right now, here's the trick, okay? What you do is when you go out with the person, you do one of 2 things. 1, get an expert. If you have an expert, like a lawyer who gets an inspector out there or a public adjuster, they're going to walk around with you. But whether you get that or you do it yourself, number 2, what you do is you walk around with a camera. A hard camera or a video camera. And as they walk around, you show the damage. And you're videotaping it. Tell me what you think of that, Bob. What is he going to say? I'm not telling? What are you, a 5-year-old? Either there's damage or there's not. Either there's, I don't care if the person says that hole in the wall is due to mice. Let's move on. I have a documentation of exactly what the inspector did. Not this highfalutin or technical stuff, or I'll get back to you, or I see all these damages. If you have a list of damages and you have that detailed, you hand in the list. Let's go item to item. Shall we? Would you like a bottle of water or a Coke? I have one. Let's go. And you go through and you document and you what? Then you write your letter. Dear insurance company, it was so wonderful to have John Smith out. He was such a delight. It was great, and he went through and he told me that I had over $100,000 of damages, but he told me that he's going to write me a check for 15 grand. Can you please explain to me why that's the case? What does the 15 grand stand for? Why isn't there the 85,000? What are you denying? Why are you denying it? Please put it in writing. On and on and on. Imagine if you document that and you're the person on the other side. Imagine how you're going to respond. Let me explain to you, on insurance companies, what they have is they have what's called desk level adjusters. Essentially, people who are taking in the claims and looking at the claims, and then they're inputting it on a computer. They have hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of claims, okay? Maybe they know your name, you're still a number, okay? What I want is a motivation for that guy or that girl, that wonderful person, to say, you know what, I gotta get rid of this guy because he's the Prince of Darkness, okay? And in order to do that, you do what I'm talking about. This is the time. We are not a vandalism claim. We are not some guy who drove his truck and backed into your thing, where it doesn't really matter if you get the claim 6 months from now. I need money now. And we need money now. And if all of you file and all of you strongly do things, you will get recovery. Let me tell you something else that's important. If you have people on your block, if you have people that are, say, somebody got benefits and they got $3,100, and they have the same kind of house you do, and they took pictures, let's say, of their windows, and they got recovery for their windows. Here's what you do. Can I get a copy of your pictures? Yes. Dear so-and-so, Bobby Smith down the road has the exact same windows. Let me put on this piece of paper the copy of his picture and mine. Bet you can't tell which one is which. Where's my $3,162 that I'm supposed to get? If you corral together as a neighborhood and you find out who's being covered, everybody else gets covered. Okay? It's the opposite. Most people in insurance think, oh my God, if that person gets covered, I'm not going to get the money. It's the opposite. If you find that somebody's covered and the insurance company doesn't pay you, that's bad faith. Let me tell you something about that. That's very, very bad. The two words bad faith, they are horrible words for insurance companies. Why? They can lose their license. They can get suspended. We can sue them for punitive damages. Lawyer fees. You can end up with a free lawyer. You go hire some national guy. He goes and sues for you. You win. You pay no fees because the insurance company has to pay those fees. If they act wrongfully, if they act improperly, if they deny a claim without a basis, things like you're not covered. That's not a basis. They have to tell you specifically why that event is not covered and why. They have to put it in writing. If they don't, you write them. I cannot emphasize enough to you that if you do this and you process it in this way, you're likely to have a higher incidence of covered events. Whether you're dealing with FEMA or the insurance company, if you document and you have intelligent chronological discussion, you can see it's probably going to be better for you in the long run. Now, I don't have time tonight to go through each of the technical types of coverages and things, but you would be surprised how much more covered you are than you think. I read an article today that somebody gladly showed me about something about the denial of claim based on the fact that your house is actually below the line. Let me tell you something. I wouldn't hold my breath at how long that's going to last. That you're going to get paid on those, that's going to happen, and if they don't, well, guess what? I know a really good lawyer who can help you, okay? The bottom line is that a lot of people are having problems because it's so overwhelming. There's disinformation that goes on between. It's not, as much as you may not like insurance companies or government, it's a large machine. It's the Titanic. The wheel is hard over, but the ship turns slow because the rudder's small. You just got to understand these things take time, but you don't have time. So the more aggressive you are, the better you are. Who should I hire? Should I do this myself? Should I hire a lawyer? Should I hire a public adjuster? Should I hire neither of those? Should I hire both of them? What do? Let me give you the pros and cons. Public adjusters do just that. They go out to your property and help, as a private citizen, adjust your claim. They usually get paid a percentage. In New York, it can't be more than 12 and change percentage, but usually it's about 5 to 10% is what they charge. They will call your insurance company, they will meet out there, presumably if they're a good adjuster, and they will attempt to negotiate your claim. If they do, you pay them a percentage, okay? They generally rely on taking pictures and photographs, doing estimates, and other types of things. In fact, what we do is when we send out public adjusters, we try to use the exact same software program that the insurance company's using. Because if our program shows that you owe $67,000 and we're using your program, then you're probably going to have to pay that. So a good adjuster will know the insurance companies and know their tendencies. Okay, well then why shouldn't I just hire an adjuster? I don't need a lawyer. The lawyer's probably going to be more expensive. Well, an adjuster can't file a lawsuit. You're the insurance company. You know somebody can't sue you. Are you going to pay max dollars? I don't know. I presume in good faith people would pay what they're obligated, what the promises are, but a lawyer can file a lawsuit. That's a bad thing for an insurance company. They have to spend money on their own lawyers. They got to pay statutory interest at anywhere from 4, 5, 6, 8, 10%, depending on the state and depending on the year. That's not good for them. If a bunch of people file claims, they can spend a lot of money. Do you really want to spend $20, $30, $40, $50, $80,000 on your lawyer and mine for a $20,000 claim? I think if I'm the insurance company, I'm going to pay it. So a lawyer can help you. What's the disadvantage? Disadvantage is a lawyer's rates are generally higher. Most people will charge you a contingency either way. So you're not going to come out of pocket. But the lawyer will also get something else that if you have a public adjuster, you should mandate they do. The lawyer will get the engineer, the nationally known engineer or the top architect or whoever it is to come out to your property and issue, when I do these things, I don't care if it's a $20,000 claim or a $400 million claim. My expert report's 100 pages long, 80 pages of pictures, details, science, drawings, wind velocities, water flow rates, wind vortexes. You want to make sure that you've shown them you're serious. If you do that and you get people to know what they're doing, they can create very powerful reports for you. Usually what attorneys will do is they will front those costs for you. So you don't have to pay them, and you pay them only and if you recover. In some cases, depending on the type of defense they have, you may be able to recover the amount of attorney's fees you pay. So depending on how the insurance company behaves, there are state laws and regulations that allow you to recover some or all of your fees. So even if you pay a lawyer 10 or 20 or 25% or whatever the number is, then it is possible, depending on the behavior, that they might get all that money back and you could be made whole. Again, it depends on the facts and circumstances, but you should not underestimate the importance of whatever expert you hire. Get knowledgeable, know what you're doing, and make sure you understand the process. Lawyers and good public adjusters will tend to know what kind of coverages you have. But you will find in most of these situations, in all the mass claims I've been involved in, you will find that most times you get blanket denials with not a lot of data for you. And it leaves you very angry and frustrated as to why you haven't paid for insurance or what the people are doing. You have to combat that with fire, with documentation, with letter writing, with the love and kisses stuff I'm talking about. If you do that, you're going to get a recovery. If you don't do that, good luck. You're going to be sitting where we're sitting now, angry and frustrated. You have to take charge of your claims. If you do that, you will get a result. Okay, I'm telling you from doing thousands of claims and in different states and all kinds of things. If you have problems that are related to your city or your county, for example, I was in Baldwin last week at a town meeting. They had septic pipes explode and feet of sewage deposit itself in a lot of homes. They called their flood people, and the flood people said it's not our problem, it's the county's problem. The county said it's go to your flood insurance, or FEMA, they'll help you. FEMA said, I don't know if we cover it because we might cover flood, but we don't cover the sewage part. Okay? The homeowner insurance said, don't look at me, look at the flood policy. Okay? That's not good. And so many of those people may have to institute legal action in group or in small against the county to recover. Now the county responded, as your legislator indicated to you, and they are now offering to pay in those circumstances, and hopefully they will pay not only the cleanup, but they will pay the replacement and recovery costs. So I want to make clear in conclusion that you have understood that I am going to, 1, fill out the stuff on FEMA, including SBA. 2, I'm going to get copies of all my policies. 3, I'm getting my insurance agent involved. 4, I am going to document. 5, I am going to make sure I write them on a regular basis about the documentation and proof I've shown and everything they do or I do. If you do that, you're going to have a high chance of succeeding in these claims, regardless of what is stated here or stated elsewhere. I'll close with telling you that I can tell you that I feel your pain, and I understand it, and I've lived through it. And when you live through something like even some of the storms like the Catastrophe 4 and 5s, where it looks like, if you ever saw pictures of Hurricane Andrew, it looks like they dropped a nuclear bomb on it. And it just, the amount of stuff and the looters and the people, scam artists, and all the nightmares of trying to get money. It was incredible. And I admire the police for what they've done. I admire the county for the cleanups they do, because there's so much data. Please, if you want, I will be around afterward. There's also the guy who's courteously manning that camera. He's actually a local police officer, and he's got a law firm. He's just doing this because the film guy is outside somewhere. You can go in the back, and they have handouts and information. But again, Storm Help Team, if you want to get some sort of expert to review that. Thank you very much for your time, and I'll be around.